So we're going to talk about control and field position right now. I think that the two most important special teams are your kickoff coverage, all right, and your punt coverage, okay? Now, I also think that these will tell you what kind of team you have, all right? What kind of team do we have? What are we about as kids? What are we about as coaches? Are we soft and undisciplined, all right? Then our kickoff team will be a bunch of independent contractors doing their own thing, not taking on blocks the right way, not playing with the type of aggression, tempo, all right, and courage that we need them to. Are we blue collar? Are we coachable? Are we physical? Are we violent? All right? If we are that team, our kickoff team will be a great litmus test for what kind of team we have. All right? So you can kind of tell what kind of squad you have just based on what the kickoff team looks like. Are they running downfield? I go back to the Super Bowl, man. The Seahawks, and I would have yelled at my special teams coordinator, and I would have gotten yelled at. But as a special teams coordinator, when on that kickoff, after they scored and it was 9-0, and they got the personal foul because they kicked it through the end zone, those guys were screaming downfield, big, fast, strong, angry, and a Denver guy was kind of loafing off the field and just got waylaid by one of the backup linebackers that was on the kickoff coverage unit. Man, you could tell that the kickoff team that they had mirrored what kind of team they were. They were competitive, they were aggressive, they were fast, they were strong, and buddy, they got after it. And just that one kickoff, they kicked it through the end zone. Trenton Holiday didn't run it out. All right, it was a touchback, and Denver ended up getting the ball at the 35-yard line because of the penalty. But that play showed you what they were about as a team. All right, so I sell my guys on kickoff and punt especially. All right, that they are the heart and soul of the team. They're the heart and soul of the team. All right, I want perfect placement by kicker. Now, will we ever get perfect placement by the kicker? No. All right, 1 year in 2010, we had a kicker kick literally 100% of his kickoffs into the end zone. In Georgia, if the ball's in the end zone, you can't return it. He kicked 100% of the balls in the end zone. That was as close to perfect as possible as you could possibly have. All right, so we never ever want to let the opponent cross the 30. All right, so those are the first two things. After we get those first two things taken care of, now we want to make a big play. I want to recover an onside. I want to line a guy up and force a fumble. All right, I want to strip it. I want to flip the field, and I want to be penalty free. All right, we don't want to be off sides and make them re-kick. All right, make them back us up and re-kick. The penalty in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I would have yelled at the guy, but it was kind of beautiful to see them set the tempo like that. But we've got to be, all right, 1, 2, and 3 are the most important, I think. All right, perfect placement by the kicker. Don't let them cross the 30. All right, make a big play now. Get down there, swarm. First guy, wrap them up. Everybody else running the ball. All right, pull it out, and then be penalty free. All right, here's a couple of things. I go over this in the preseason. I post in the locker room. Whether the kids know it or look at it, I don't know. All right, we know how kids are. All right, it's not live till it travels 10 yards. We can't touch it till it goes 10 yards. These are just little things we go over with them. All right, he's entitled to a fair catch. If the ball's in the air, especially if there's a pooch kick or something like that, he is entitled to the fair catch. We can't light him up when he throws his hand up there. All right, and all kickoffs must be covered. Do not anticipate a rest whistle. Go all out until the whistle blows, and then run to where the ball ends. The year we had the kid who put 100% of the balls in the end zone for touchbacks, all right, our guys were still, every kick, our guys were screaming down there. And that wasn't anything, a referendum on me. That was a referendum on what kind of kids they were. They were great kids. They were fun kids to coach. All right, that was one of the most fun years I've ever had coaching, was being a special teams coordinator with that team, because it was just awesome. So we cover every single kick. Hey, the guy could catch it 5 yards deep and the ref might not signal touchback. Go ahead and go down there. All right, squeeze it. Light somebody up. If the ref's whistle doesn't blow, that's an opportunity for you to put a lick on somebody. Let's go get one. All right? So we go over these things, stay on side. I know everybody in here does this. This is elementary stuff. This is 101 stuff. All right, we got to stay on sides. We don't want them to get any sort of free yardage because we were undisciplined, all right, or didn't pay attention to detail, okay? All right, covering your lane. Now, if you stay in your lane, there's a good opportunity you're going to get blocked. So we're going to get into the specifics of it, all right? You do, from the ball point, from where we kick it to the 35-yard line, we will get out of our lane, but we're going to be very detailed and disciplined in how we get out of our lane, all right? And then once we're out of our lane, once we escape the block, we're getting right back in our lane. We're not going to stay out of our lane because that's what creates gaps, that's what creates creases. We must never lose contain or allow a cutback across the field. all right? And that speaks to the discipline of your backside guys, all right? When in doubt, we're going to two-gap or button press, which we'll talk about. And we coach the heck out of get-offs, man. We spend a lot of time working get-offs. All right, I want them timed up with the kicker. I want them hugging the line of scrimmage, all right, at max velocity. I don't want them jogging and then accelerating as the ball's kicked. I don't want there to be a noticeable change in speed when the ball's kicked. Man, I want them screaming like their hair is on fire. So we work get-offs. We want good get-offs. We go all out. Let's put them inside the 20, man. If they return the ball, they do so at their own peril, all right? So I want wild men, I want guys getting after it. That's why we call this the hit squad, because we want to light them up. We want to go down there and get them, all right? I think speed at the line wins, all right? I think you hug that 40-yard line, you hug that kick point, all right? You want to make them call you offsides. If the ref is coming over to me and saying, watch you guys on the kickoff, coach, watch you guys on the kickoff, then I know we're in pretty good shape, all right? And it's not perfect every time, but we spend a lot of time coaching it, all right? Don't engage frontline blockers. Especially if I see a team that puts linemen, centers, guards on the front line, defensive linemen, guys with numbers 50 through 79 on the front line, we ain't letting those guys touch us. I'm putting dudes that can move. I'm putting dudes that can do things in space on my kickoff team, man. We're running down the field. We're getting after it. And if you've got number 55 and he's a 235-pound center on the front line, I hope he can run, because he's going to have to block some of my fastest cats. He's going to have to block my corners, strong safeties, tailbacks. And we've had Division I tailbacks. Those suckers run kickoff team. We've had Division I receivers. Kid Simon Vanderbilt, kid going to the NFL Combine next week. He's been on kickoff team. We've had, everything short of the quarterback is on kickoff team. And if he was a dude, if he was a dude, I might be talked into it. There is nobody off limits on the kickoff or punt team. There are no sacred cows, all right? There's nobody that's off limits on kickoff or punt, all right? So I want dudes on there. I want hang time over distance. I'd rather get 3.75 hang time to the 10 on a line drive to the 1, all right? If I've got hang time and I'm going to put fast cats on the field, they've got a shot to go down there, all right, and make something happen and still keep it inside the 20. All right, if I can get 4 seconds hang time, I want 4 seconds hang time. That's not always going to happen with high school kids, all right, but that's what I want. Easiest way to lose a game is give up 6 on the kickoff. Johnny Booster Boy does not get on the kickoff team. You might be able to hide Johnny Booster Boy somewhere on your kickoff return. You might be able to hide Johnny Booster Boy, maybe on a punt return as a guy running down there on a wall, all right, if you got to put him on there. And Johnny Booster ain't getting on my kickoff team. Johnny Booster ain't getting on my punt team. And his mom can send all the emails they want to. Delete, 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 all right? All right, so we've got zones that we talk about, all right? So here's our get-off zone. We want to be full speed, all right? GHSA is talking about doing the Roger Goodell thing, all right, and backing us up or not letting us be deeper than 35. Normally I'll have my guys at the 30, all right, but I ran out of room on the slide. I want my guys at the 30 if I can, because I want them screaming. I want them smoking, buddy, all right? But GHSA is talking about doing the Roger Goodell sissification things, all right, and banning double wedges, or banning 3-man wedges and 4-man wedges, and making guys stay at the 35. And you see a lot of times in the NFL, because they can't get deeper than, well, it's the 30 for them, all right, because they can't get any deeper, you see them run laterally, all right, to gain as much speed as possible before they get vertical, all right? So we're working 40 to midfield as our get-off zone, all right? We're attacking, we want to be fast, all right? From the 50 to the 35, that's the avoid zone, all right? We don't get blocked by big linemen. We don't get blocked, all right, by frontline guys. Those guys are not a factor, okay? So we want to do one of two things. We want to avoid kick side, or we want to cut to the butt. And you got to watch film study, and you got to know which one to be able to teach them, and you got to have a pretty good idea by Monday at the latest, all right, to tell them what you're going to do. So we kick right or we kick left, all right? I never, as a return guy, and I'll talk about kickoff return next hour, if you kick it to me in the middle, I love it. I love the ball in the middle, because I've got 53 1/3 to work with. All right, if you kick the ball to me over here, all right, you've shrunk the field. If you kick the ball to me over here, you've shrunk the field, all right? So we kick right, kick left. Ideally, I want it on the numbers every single time. We don't always get it on the numbers, and I've got clips. Everything's not perfect with high school kids. I can't go down to Florida or Texas or California and sign a kicker. All right, I wish I could, but I can't. All right, so it's not always perfect. Sometimes they kick it to the hash, sometimes they kick it here. If I can get on the numbers, I want to kick it on the numbers. So when we say avoid kick side, if we say kick right, all right? I've got 9 guys screaming downfield, all right? I'll have a fold guy. Kicker is just a kicker. Just jog down there and please just don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything that looks awful, all right? So I've got 9 guys screaming downfield. From the 50 to the 35, if it's kick right, all right, we're escaping frontline blocks to the right, all right? And it should look like all 9 of us are attached with a string. We're attached to a rope. I'm not going this way 3 yards while this guy is kind of weaving around here. We're not looking like spaghetti on a plate. All right, we're looking crisp and regimented, and if we're going kick right, and those frontline guys are trying to block us, whether it's wedge, man, trap, whatever their scheme is, all right, whether they've got a 4-2, all right, and then 5 guys back, or they're 5-2-2-2, or 5-3-1-2, or something like that, all right, whatever their little scheme is, those frontline guys, if we're going kick right, all right, between the 50 and the 35, all right, I'm going to get low and escape that block to my right, and then I'm going to stack him and get back in my lane. So if I escape kick side, I'm going to escape and then get back in my lane and get right back on my landmark. All right. So if you just stay in your lane, all right, you're going to be easy to block. And if teams just stay in their lanes and I can kick you this way and you this way, I've created a crease for my returner to find. So we don't get blocked by frontline guys. We escape kick side. If they run, returns where they're, sending everybody one way because they're trying to wash everybody down and maybe kick out with a back wedge or something like that, then we might say cut to the butt. I know a lot of college guys teach cut to the butt. I found that's harder to teach with high school guys, and I feel like we're able to play faster if we've got a little more, if we've got a little more defined pre-snap, we're kicking right, so what side are we escaping to, guys? Right. To whereas if they're all running this way and their butt opens up, so if I'm a frontline wedge guy or I'm a frontline guard or frontline center, all right, if I turn and run this way, I'm trying to block you in here. So a lot of college guys teach cut to the butt of the frontline guys, because if I'm coming here and I'm opening up this way, I'm going to try to take you down in here, all right? So if you cut to my butt, theoretically you make that impossible for me. A lot of the college guys I would sit down and talk with when I was special teams coordinator would say, we teach cut to the butt, we teach cut to the butt. I think that's harder to teach for high school kids, to be honest with you. All right, you've got to have a pretty good system. You've got to have a really good beat on how they return. I think it's easier to escape kick side. That's just me. Now, we get inside the 35. There's no block escape. There's block destruction. All right? There's block defeat. We 2-gap everything. We're like a nose. All right? 2-gap and a center. All right? We are butting and pressing that guy. All right? Coach, can you stand up for a second? So whereas a frontline guy I may defend, if he's coming to block me, a frontline guy I escape. If he's coming to block me, I'm going to butt and press. I'm going to get my hands on his breastplate. And I'm still going to be running. All right, and I'm going to be pressing, but my eyes are on the ball. So as soon as coach is the ball carrier, if coach comes this way, I'm going to escape the block here and go make a tackle, try to make him stop his feet. All right, as worst case scenario. Or if he cuts this way, I'm butting and pressing and then waiting on the ball carrier and making a move. All right, if I can get by that block, all right, I don't go around the block, because if I go around the block, he's going to cut up right behind his blocker, and now we've got a seam. Now I've created a crease for him to run through. Thank you, coach. I never said it.
Hey, coach.
Yes, sir.
Do you want them even on that, or are they working one shoulder or the other?
Even initially, especially if it's a head-on block. Okay. All right, but they got to be able to see the ball.
Yes, sir.
And I'll show you how we drill it in a second. All right, and then if they're wedging, man, we're going 2 for 1. All right, we're going 2 for 1. All right, we're going to put 2 guys, all right, on the front, we're going to put 2 guys in the crease of their wedge and destroy it head-on. We don't get a ton of wedge in Georgia. All right, now inside the 20, it's on, baby. Let's bring the ball carrier down. I want our shoulder pad square. All right, I want us attacking to the ball. I want us leveraging the ball. I want us making the returner stop his feet. And I want us swarming to the ball. All right, so that's it, man. That's where all heck breaks loose, and we want to get them down before they get to the 20. All right. Easiest way to lose a big game, all right, is give up a punter kickoff for a TD. All right, here's the kind of personnel we put on here. My R1s are my L1s, and I've got the diagram drawn up in a second. They're smart, savvy kids. They're your free safety. They're your strong safety. They're kids that understand leverage and angles. They can contain and make an open field tackle. My 2s, 3s, all right, R2, R3, L2, L3. All right, they're my freaking warrior Mike linebackers, my warrior fullbacks, tight ends. All right, guys like that. Tough, aggressive kids, fast. Guys that like to hit. I don't care about their size. I've had 165-pound guys there. I've had 225-pound guys there. I want runners and hitters. I want the guys who have the crazy look in your eye, the kind of that wild, unhinged look. All right, the guys you would not get your car keys to. The guys you don't want to see your daughters around. I want those guys on my R2 and R3. All right, and then my hitters, They're the glory position of the team. They got to be fast and love collisions. All right. They're the ones that screw up the count for teams that use count. All right. And they're the guys that they've got to be faster than everybody else because they start a little bit farther back than everybody else. All right. So here's our base alignment: R1 through R4, L1 through L4. Kicker. I get a lot of questions about where do you put the ball for the kicker. Kickers are weird, wherever he's comfortable. All right. I would prefer the ball in the middle of the field, but I want him to put the ball, all right, where he can best place the ball. All right. So I've had, my guy this year loved putting it on the post. So we put it on the right post every time. Why? I don't know. His name was Shavi. It's just, I don't know, Shavi. Put it on the right post, my friend. All right, whatever you're comfortable with. He felt like, well, coach, you kind of give me some explanation. I feel like if I put it here, the geometry, I don't care. Put it on the post. All right. I like it in the middle of the field because I feel like I can dictate a little more, but wherever you're comfortable. Not crazy about it on the hash. All right, not crazy about it on the hash because I feel like they've got a lot of field to work with. All right, but if we can get it in the end zone on the hash, all right, then I can probably be convinced into it, but wherever they're comfortable. All right, my hitters, they line up somewhere different every time. They got to be pretty small. I like stacking them behind guys because we run them to gaps, and I'll talk about how we get there in a second. We label gaps, all right? We've got A gap, B gap, C gap, D gap, okay? All right? When we call a kick, I'll start with the direction. I'll say kick right or kick left, wherever the kicker's most comfortable. I don't let him be 100% either way, but if it's in a big moment, a big spot, and I know he likes to kick right, we're going to say kick right. If he likes to kick left, I know we're going to say kick left. I tell him, now just because you like kick right doesn't mean we can always kick right. Sometimes we've got to kick left, all right? Sometimes we've got to kick right if you prefer left, but we'll say kick right, and then we tag the gaps that we want the hitters to go through. So let's say I go kick right. I want my right hitter in C gap. I want my back hitter, or my left hitter and backside A gap. And I would say kick right CA, all right? I might say kick right AA. I might say kick right DB, all right? I'm going to say something different every time, so these guys go through a different gap. Now, what they've got to know is that the gap that they're called, the gap that they're assigned, is just where I want them ending up. They have to start somewhere different every time. I don't want you to be able to watch film on my guys and be like, this guy's here, because when we run kickoff returns, you've got number 1, you've got number 2, you've got number 5, you've got number 7, you've got number 8, we're going to double kick number 9, or we're going to double kick number 5, or we're going to trap number 4, all right, we're going to do these things. So if you watch film on me, I don't want you to be able to always say, well, number 1, number 2, number 3. I want you to say, well, this guy, sometimes he's here and sometimes he's here. I want to create doubt in those guys' mind, and I've got my fastest, most aggressive guys here. All right, these are going to be my 2 best guys. These are going to be my next best guys. These are going to be my next best guys after that. And these are going to be the guys that are savvy and they understand angles. All right. So pre-kick, we directional kick everything, and you got to mix it up. Put the ball wherever your kicker's most comfortable. Our call tells the kicker where to put it, and what gap they got to be in. All right, it'll say deep left. All right, deep right. Sometimes if you've got a guy that can pooch it or sky it or squib it, we're still going to say, squib left, squib right, deep right. Sometimes we just say kick right, kick left, and we know he's just going to bang it down there. All right, and then CA, BB, AC tells the hitters where to go. All right. Hitters got to be violent, fast guys. All right, they don't have an alignment pre-snap. They got to be assigned in a gap and hugging the line of scrimmage at the snap. All right, that's what they're told. All right. They don't align in the same place twice. We got to break the count of the kickoff return team. All right, we got to cause chaos. We got to get returners to stop feeding. I tell them their job is to be in the assigned gap as the ball is kicked in the MSH. Make stuff happen. All right, get the returner to stop his feet. If a returner has to stop his feet, we got a shot. If you're playing a great returner and he doesn't stop his feet and he's able to accelerate vertically and make a cut, we got issues. All right, if he's got to stop his feet and come this way or come that way, we've got a shot to bring him down. All right. When we take on blocks, this is what I talked about. We want explosive get-offs. We want to go through the avoid zone. I got to go fast, guys. I'll put this up in the break if you want to write it down. All right. We'll escape kick side or go to cut to the butt. Once you avoid the block, get in your lane. All right. In between the 35 and the 20, we're going to 2-gap, button press all blocks. Keep our shoulders square. Squeeze the ball on the inside shoulder. Engage blocker with hands. Driving backwards and shed. Anything inside the 20 is the war zone. We got to win. They got to lose. That's it. No questions asked. All right. So here's get-offs right here. This is a pretty good get-off, not great. Pretty good, not great, because this guy's not hugging the line. But we are on the ragged edge of offsides right here, which I'm perfectly okay with. All right. I want that guy hugging a little bit tighter, but This is exactly how get off should look. And these guys are full speed, buddy. These guys are full speed. These guys are just now getting into their break. All right, this guy doesn't have a prayer. This guy doesn't have a prayer. These guys have cement on their shoes. There's no way that they're going to be able to block my guys. All right, now these were our calls 2 years ago. I haven't finished the stats for this year. I will post those on the site. We were kick left CA about 26% of the time. We were kick right CA about 22% of the time. So those were our top 2 calls. All right, we're kick left CB, kick right CB, screwing up the count of the hitters. All right, kick right CB and kick right BA about 16% of the time. All right, we've made sky right, sky left, and then dead man middle, which is our surprise onside. All right, we try to kill that guy in the middle. All right. So here's a good example of exactly how it should look. I mean, the ball is being kicked, and we are right here. All right, we are right here. This was going to be a kick right. We had the ball in the left hash. They had a guy that signed with Alabama as their kick returner who was right here. So we were going to kick away from him over here. We weren't going to kick to Devin Hester. All right, so this is what a kick right CB should look. Now, everybody's taking on, everybody's squeezing. When we go kick right, our L1, he becomes the fold player, okay? So if we're going kick right, the opposite one becomes the fold player. He should be like a cover 4 safety, all right, that reads a down block, or like a robber-free safety that reads a down block. He should be sitting there no more than 8 yards, no more than 8 yards, and the biggest pain in the butt in coaching this is making sure these guys are at the line of scrimmage when the ball is kicked, and making sure these guys aren't too far back, all right? So if we go kick right, he can't let anything outside, all right? We're escaping 2 gap and destroy, and escape 2 gap, destroy, 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 all right? Make stuff happen, make stuff happen, make the returner stop his feet, all right? This guy cannot let anything outside of him. He's got his shoulders square, and then he's got to be sitting here waiting for something to pop. About 8 yards, all right, behind the pile, and you'll see kind of what it looks like on film, all right, to where if something does pop, he's in position to fill and make a tackle. What they want to do is they want to jog down here and be 15 yards behind the ball to where they would be in position to just be embarrassed if the guy did come out of the pile. If he does break through your kickoff coverage, all right, he's got to be there to be the emergency. Now, if it was kick left, my R1 becomes the contained fold guy. He's the guy that's sitting there waiting for it to pop. All right, I teach, to be very transparent, I teach the kickers tackling day 1 so I don't get sued if they break their neck, okay? We go through tackling drills, I read them the helmet, and then I go home that night, I get on my knees and pray, please God, don't ever make this kid make a tackle. Because it's bad. We get the dummies and we teach heads up and we do all that stuff, and if this guy does this, you gotta do an angle tackle, and then afterwards I go, you know, just violently shake and pray that he never has to make the tackle. So this year, this is an aside. I don't know if they want this on the video. It was brought to my attention that my kicker, the thing Vine. I'm 35, but I'm an old soul. I don't do a whole lot of the Vine. It's like the 6-second videos, social media thing. My kicker was on Vine smoking a bunch of dope, so I had to kick him off the team. All right, so we had to put a linebacker there, and I didn't mind if he made a tackle, but that shows you about how silly kickers are, and. So I don't want those guys making tackles. If a guy is stupid enough to put online video of him doing something illegal, I certainly don't want that guy making a tackle, all right? So the job in the R1 and the L1 is to contain to that side. So if we kick right, the R1's got to contain. He's got to be the first guy down there and keep his outside shoulder free, all right? If we go kick left, he's got to get down there and keep his outside shoulder free. Keep shoulders square, and I'll show you in the video, all right? The one away from the kick side, he's like a cover 4 safety. He's like a quarter safety, all right? He melts down, and you got to coach it hard. It's hard to get these guys to do it. They want to be 15 yards behind, all right? They've got to be no more than 8 to 10 yards behind, and just wait in case something pops, all right? The technique kind of forms a little triangle around the ball carrier, so if there's a breakdown, we've got a net around him, all right? The 2 away from the kick side becomes wide contained. All right, so here's how it'll look. This is kick right. We would kick it from the hash because this kid was comfortable. Now this kid was a wide receiver too. I traditionally have had kickers. He was a wide receiver, but he was a great athlete, strong leg. All right, ball placement was a little sporadic because he was playing wide receiver for us. All right, so he liked it on the hash. If we had to have a kick and we had a late lead in this game, if we had to have a kick, it was kick right, okay? Other times we would kick left. His ball placement was a little messy. All right, so if we're going kick right, this might be CA, not great by my hitters. All right, he would be the contained front side. He's the contained back side. There's my L1, he becomes the fold player. All right, make stuff happen, make stuff happen. All right, you'll see it right here. These guys will not block us. We've got good, fast get-offs. They've got linemen up here. These guys aren't blocking us. All right, as we get down there, now we're taking on the wedge. Now we're inside the 35. There will be no block escape. I'm sorry, am I on your way, coach? There's going to be no block escape. There's going to be block destruction. Okay? So we're still full speed. Not great by the hitters, good. All right, he catches the ball at the 2-yard line. All right, so right in here, we're taking on gaps. I'd like his shoulders a little more square in case this guy tries to bounce it. But you see we're not running around, guys. We've got a net. All right, here's the cover 4 safety. All right, this is the kicker running down there. All right, so wait. If something pops, we've got the triangle around him. We've got a net around him. All right, if it doesn't, all right, we're trying to wrap him up and make something happen. Now we're inside here at the 10. All right, now we're going. He doesn't tackle him, doesn't run his feet. All right, but we've got him contained. Great, their cheerleaders are so stupid. This is their cheerleaders cheering. We just nailed them inside the 5. And this is fun. This is fun right here. This tells you what kind of team you have. All right? So we're squeezing. We're not running around things. I want shoulders square. I'd like his shoulders a little more square. Like his shoulders a little more square. He got his ass whipped. All right? It happens. But we've got a net built around the guy. I want him a little faster, but we had a kid injured in the game. He should be down there better. He was a mid-game backup. All right, right here, you got to look at it. Same kicker, he does a terrible job on ball placement right here. A terrible job. The worst thing in the world for me, this should have been kick right. He hooks it to the left and leaves it dead center. All right, to me, that's nightmare. That's worst case scenario. All right, terrible job on ball placement. Leaves it right in the middle. All right, there's our safety. Everybody's square. We're not going to escape blocks here. We've beat the front line. Right here, we've won. We've won. We've won. All right, make stuff happen. Now we're keeping our shoulder pads square. There should be nowhere for him to go. He can't bounce into the field. All right, we've taken on 2 gaps. We're destroying blocks, taking on 2 gaps. All right, we're not going around it. We're going through it. I'd like his eyes to be up. I'd like his eyes to be on the returner. All right, but there's nowhere for him to go. He tries to bounce it. We've got the net built around him. All right, there's nowhere for him to go. That's fun too. Our kids get juiced up about that. Once again, good get-offs, probably a little offsides. The front line is completely irrelevant right now. They're not going to do anything. All right? So now we're basically 11 on 5. They're trying to wedge. This is beautiful right here. I get fired up about this. This is beautiful right here. They got no prayer to get the ball past the 20. All right? We're going to keep them inside. That's better than a touchback. We do sometimes huddle right before it. If a team doesn't adjust to it, we've got the surprise onside off of it. But we do huddle before. All right, same game. Hitters work into the gap, screw up the count. Now we kick right. Now we're screaming. Now we're squeezing. He's squeezing a little too much for my liking. All right, but that's the hitter, so his job is just to get down there and make him stop his feet. All right, they try to bounce it outside. Oh, shoot. They try to bounce it outside, and that's fine. If we've got our shoulders square and we haven't run around blocks, we've built the net around them. Show it one more time. So that's the hitter right there. His job is to go down there and make something happen. Doesn't do a great job. He kind of throws a shoulder at it. Doesn't do a great job two-gapping. All right, but we're sitting right there. We get him inside the 20. We're in pretty good shape. Now, when we drill this on Monday, the first way we drill it is by button press. All right? We got young guys with hand shields right here. So we get 10 hand shields. All right? Put one just below the numbers, one just below the hash. All right? And I just put, little receiver guys back here. All right? We'll get 5 guys on kickoff. I'll say, L1 through L5. All right? Or L1 through L4 plus hitters on this side. And I'll say kick left. And if we go kick left, what side are we escaping? Left. So we're saying kick left if that's what we're going to do that week. All right? And so they escape. They get back on the line. All right? And they button press the dummy. They find the returner. They defeat the block. They go make the tackle. All right? And then I'll say kick right. Let's see if I got one. I'll say kick right. We've all got to run, escape, kick side, so kick to the right, or escape to the right, get back on the line, two-gap the dummy, find the returner, all right? Make sure he can't get outside. I just get a little knucklehead quick kid, just let him go back there and just, do stupid stuff, just trying to juke people out and be fast and be quick, all right? Make it hard on them, be a pain in their ass, it's okay, all right? And then we go again. If we're cutting to the butt that week, we don't do it a ton. I've only done it a couple of times, to be honest. I'll have the frontline guys jump and turn their butt, and we cut to the butt. Or have them jump and turn their butt, and we cut to the butt. But the most important thing is, once you escape that front line block, all right, get back in your track, get back on your lane, so you can get into the block defeat and block destruction in war zone, all right? We work off the sideline for this drill. People talk about what drills do you do for kickoff? This is the most important one. We do this for 5 minutes every Monday, all right? And then we work get-offs, all right? And then we work onsides. That's it. And we want to get good at it. And I could probably draw up some cute drills. I could probably do some 2-man drills and probably do some 3-man drills and put them on video and make it, look like I'm a really good coach and I do all this different stuff. But I don't have time. This kid plays free safety and wide receiver. Or this kid plays running back and linebacker. Or this kid plays defensive end and tight end. And in the real world of high school, I'm not going to do 17 different drills to teach a couple of different skills. All right, I've got Monday, 10 minutes, all right? So I've got to get them good at the non-negotiables of this position. I've got to get them good at the non-negotiables of covering a kick. And they're on 2 different special teams. They start middle linebacker, they start fullback, or they start tight end. They got a lot of crap to remember, guys. This isn't, NFL where I can sign, a guy just to be a special teams guy. Anton Smith is the guy for the Falcons, and his job, he gets 6 figures a year. He doesn't play tailback or receiver. His job is to be a special teams guy. You can do a lot of different stuff with that guy. I can't do that because I've got, these guys, half the time they're more concerned about their girlfriend or, whatever. So we do this drill, and we get really good at this drill. And we do this drill in the summer with no pads, and we do this drill August 1st, all right? Our first day in full pads, and we do it August 7th, and we do it all the way up into November, December, good Lord willing, all right? And we try to get as good at it as possible. If I could do other drills, but I feel like this covers what I need to cover, then we work get-offs. We'll work kick left CA, kick right AB. We'll go through all those. We work our onsides are obvious. We work our onsides are surprise. And we move on to something else because in high school, that's all I've got time for. Maybe you've got more time for stuff, all right? And if you do, there's some cool stuff you can do. I don't have the time for it, and so I try to get really good at this, all right? We get around the first set of bags, all right? We two-gap the second set of bags. We shed and make the tackle, all right? We rep the button press drill weekly, all right? We do this, it might be all we do early on before we even work full line get-offs, all right? We don't work full coverage until we're satisfied with the button press drills, all right? We just don't do it, all right? We've got a couple of onside surprises, bonsai left, bonsai right, which is this pooch, all right? We've got surprise middle, which we do out of the huddle, and then surprise sky kick into dead space. If you've got a kicker that can do it, all right? This is surprise middle if we do it without the huddle, okay? We get the hitters in A-gap. Their job is to kill the center. We get the fours. Their job is to kill the guards. And then the kicker is going to dribble the ball and fall on it. Nothing extraordinary, nothing revolutionary. Once again, I can draw up a lot of stuff that looks good, or we can get really good at a couple of things, all right? And I would rather get really good at a couple of things than look really good on the whiteboard. All right, so when we surprise middle, we're double. Whoever the center is, we actually took a center out of the game a couple years ago against Collins Hill, and he was a good player, but our hitters lit him up. 4s and 5s are going on the guards. All right, kicker falls on it at about 10.5 yards. Everyone else builds a wall. All right, I try to unfocus the kicker, try to make him distract him. Some people have said they're going to make these illegal because they feel like it's not fair for the center. All right, are we playing football or are we playing golf? All right, so this should be it right here. Yep, we kick it right at him. He was able to get right on the ball. Hitters weren't able to get there. All right, but the hitters should have been screaming at the center. He put a little more juice on it, and we were able to get on it. Tie game at the end of the half. Shoot, 17 seconds left. Why the heck not go for it? Why the heck not try an onside, surprise onside? Get the ball, maybe get it 15 yards, get in field goal position. All right, if you don't get the ball, try out there, play defense, fight it. Forget it and drive off, all right? So I'd like the hitters to attack the center a little more, all right? This was my wide receiver kicker. He was supposed to kick a dribbler. He didn't. He kicked a line drive. All right, worked out for us anyway. This is out of the huddle. They knew the onside was coming. We were down in this game at the time. They knew it was coming. All right, they were ready for it. They had their hands team out there. All right, but we've got 11 guys in this space. They've got 10 guys spread out all over, okay? And they're deep returner back. So even though they knew it was coming, all right, didn't matter. All right, now that hits it perfectly. You see, this is awesome right here. I gotta run this back for a second. This poor center. He's just doing what he's coached to do. He's never going to forget this play. This is our hitters doubling him up. God bless him. He's doing what he's coached to do. He's got no chance to succeed. All right, he just got car crashed. All right, and you can see, our kids know I lost my mind right there. All right, let's see it on the end zone. Oh, it's not on the end zone. Yeah, here it is. All right, bless his heart. He's trying to make the play. That was a state champion wrestler too. He was state champion 150-pound wrestler. That was, bless his heart. That was his last snap of the game. All right, we'll work bonsai right, bonsai left. All right, we want to take out the tackle. All right, I want to double the tackle and have the R1. A couple of years ago, we had a Division I receiver who's signed with Vanderbilt. He became the R1, and we would bonsai right a good bit. All right, and we had pretty good R2 and pretty good hitter who would take out the tackle. If you see tackles leaving early, this is a great scheme. This is a great scheme if tackles leave early. All right, if their front line guys leave early or line up maybe inside the numbers and you've got a kicker that can hit it, I say go for it. If we've got to have an onside kick, there's different regulations as far as how many people you have to have on each side. All right, I've got my hitters and my fours. All right, they're going to knock them out. I want my R1, R2, R3 to go get the ball. I want my L3 to dive in and see if we can get something that pops out. All right, so that's just our obvious onside. We've used it 2 or 3 times in 2 or 3 years. I tell them, just like I tell the hands team, we may have to execute this once a season. All right, but it may determine whether or not the season is a success or failure. So there has to be a high level of execution on it. All right, I go to whatever side the kicker is most comfortable to. If the kicker likes to go left, I go left. The best onside we've used was this one. Was the surprise middle, and even when they know it's coming, we've still got them outnumbered. So even when their hands team is out there, we'll still use this one because we feel like we've got them outnumbered. If that guy can make the kick, if that guy can make that slow rolling dribbler, and that kid was able to. So if I had to have one, after this kick, I looked over at the head coach. We're in a crazy game. After this kick, I looked over at the head coach. I said, all right, if we need another onside kick again, he goes, you run that cotton picking same one you just ran. And we ended up not needing it, but if we had needed it again, we still would have run it out of this formation. All right? So we'll do it, we'll rep it, we'll try to get good at it. All right? There's other onside kicks. All right, I got to get into punt now. I know, how much time do I have?
10 minutes.
Okay, man, I got to get into punt, guys. I'm sorry. Now, we're a traditional punt team. All right? We're a traditional punt team, but because I've got a really, really good long snapper, all right, I'm gonna put some shield and some rugby in. Now, when I had to kick my guy off the team for being an idiot, all right, we went to out of our true formation, out of our traditional what we call spread formation. All right, let me show you. There it is right there. We went to a rugby off of him. We walked him up on the line, made him more of a wing. All right, and went to a rugby formation because I had to put my starting tailback at punter. We literally, the Thursday before a game, I kick a kid off the team, all right, and then it's open tryouts for punter because the JV kid, his season was over. He had gone on and get ready for his club soccer, and so it's open tryouts for punter. We got like a receiver, a linebacker, and a tailback, and the tailback kicked it about as well as the others, but the rugby look allowed him to have a little run pass option. And so we did do some rugby stuff, and we're going to do some shield stuff because the long snapper I've got, who's a 10th grader, or going to be a 10th grader, he can long snap a dang dart back there. He can get it back there at like 0.3. It's awesome. So we're gonna really have a good get off time. We're gonna have a really good operation time. So that's gonna allow us to kind of spread people out. All right. But base punt is our bomb squad. All right. You don't see anything crazy in the NFL because I think this is fundamentally the safest. Every NFL team runs this punt. All right, and part of that is because the receiver downfield rules, all right? But part of it is because it's really, you don't see punts get blocked very often on Sundays, all right? Because they get really, really good at this technique. It gives you a good window to kick in. Gunners and wings and PP are eligible for fakes. If you've got a shield punt, really, the 2 outside guys are eligible for throws and that's it. Because everybody else is covered up and you've got linemen back there. So I think you're more limited fake-wise from the shield look, and that's just something that you got to look at, all right? Technique's the same at all positions. We can move guys around based on ability level. All right, I think it's the most important thing in football. The stats are that if you block a punt, you win a game. Like 80% of the time or 90% of the time, Urban Meyer did a bunch of research on it. This year, we actually broke the mold. We blocked 3 punts and lost on a last-second Hail Mary. All right, so it's just more often than not, if you block a punt, you're going to win a game. This year, we were the outlier to that, if you're a Gladwell fan. We got to be confident in our QB. We got to have 2 good long snappers. We got to have a JV guy or groom, and we can't be over 2-2. If you're gonna punt like this, you got to be less than 2-2. You got to be like anything more, you're opening yourself up for blocks. I want my goal to be 2.1 something. If we're 2.1 something, we've got a shot. Ideally, you see some of the college NFL guys, they're like 1.7, 1.8, 1.6. That's just crazy fast. But those are professionals. Those guys are either getting their college paid for to do that, or that is how they put food on the table. We got high school kids. 2 years ago, our long snapper was our middle linebacker. Last year, our long snapper was our backup X-receiver. All right, next year, our long snapper is going to be our long snapper, and I'm pretty excited about that. All right, ideal world, 0.9 for the snap and under 1.1 for the punt. Goal is 2.1 something. All right, I want 10-inch splits by the guards and tackles. All right, I want 1 foot by 1 foot splits by the wings. I want them to be able to touch. All right, I like the inside foot up. Alabama likes the outside foot up. I've discussed with Bobby Williams why. He says it's just more natural movement when you get into your kick slide, more natural movement from the kick slide to the punch. I just think the inside foot up, I just feel better about it that way. I know people do it with the other foot up, and it works for them, so I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. I like the punter at 14 yards, but at the end of the day, I want the punter comfortably, as long as the long snapper can get it there, all right? Wings should be able to touch the hip pad with their hand of the tackle, all right? I want, that's how it should look versus defense. When we do this, we've got a pretty good idea what we're gonna get. We're gonna get 4x4, 5x3. If they double our gunners and they've got a guy back there for a turn, we've got numbers for a fake in the middle. All right, so that's how it should look right there. All right, pretty basic stuff. All right, there's nothing here that nobody doesn't, this isn't revolutionary by any stretch of the imagination. All right, I like good tight splits. I like the weight on the thigh pads. All right, a little coaching point that sounds like a little thing, but it's really a huge thing, is the weight has to be on the balls of their feet. Weight has to be on the balls of their feet. I don't want weight on their heels. That's how guys rock and get knocked off sides. I want the weight on the balls of their feet with their eyes in at the ball. So as soon as that ball moves, they're right into their kick slide technique. If they've got weight on the back of their feet, all right, it's an issue. So you see, weight should be on the front of the foot. Weight should be on the front of the foot. Weight should be on the front of the foot. And I get after those guys pretty good about that because of how it just allows them to get into it. I mean, kickers. What the heck is that? All right, it's a zone scheme. All right, it's only a zone scheme if we don't get some sort of crazy overload. Long snapper does, I do block the long snapper. I know a lot of guys just snap and release the long snapper. If guys snap and release the long snapper, I usually send 2 guys in A gap, 2 guys in B gap, because you've got 3 guys to block my 4 guys, and I'm trying to get shortest distance between 2 points as a straight line. All right, so because I don't want somebody to put 4 guys in A and B gap, all right, I do block my long snapper. All right, he does engage the kick slide. 5 minutes, coach? Okay, I'm gonna go fast. I'm sorry, guys. All right, I tell my kids that it's the most important play of football. All right, you can block a punt or get a punt blocked. All right, that has a huge impact in the game. Now, personal protector, he tells the long snapper where to go, and we just do it based on comfort zone and game plan. He'll either say Lucky or Ringo. Generally, the personal protector is a better blocker than my long snapper, because my long snapper is just whoever can get the dead gun ball back there. All right, the personal protector is the guy who gives the keys to my car. All right.